So Isaiah Hick for North Carolina added 21 points and 9 rebounds, while Justin Jackson had 15 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. Duke's Luke Kennard led the way for the Blue Devils with 28 points, 5 rebounds, while Frank Jackson added 15 points, 6 rebounds, and your boy Grayson Allen had 14 points.
Hold on, are we getting ready to talk about him?
You know, I was gonna say, speaking of him,
Did you just bring that motherfucker out? You know what? Here. Yes, he is a dirty ass fucking white boy.
What is he, badass?
Yeah, that's exactly what he is.
That was perfect.
That's exactly what the hell he is. He's a bastard. But, you know, all I can say is this, Grayson. Karma's a bitch. You remember that.
I'm just wondering when it's gonna happen.
Oh, it's coming.
Like I'm excited because it's like that kid.
It's like Christmas morning.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
it's
coming.
like you know it's coming. Like you know there's gonna be a bike. You know the big huffy bike that you wanted.
Be a couple months away, but Christmas is coming.
And you know it's coming. And you're just like, man, I can't wait for it. I'm counting them days down for when it happens.
Sure as the snow comes down white, my friend. It's gonna happen.
So yes, Grayson Allen, who has been in trouble for most of the year for tripping his opponents and knocking over coaches, has added a new move list to his set. And that's throwing elbows.
Oh, he's gonna drop bows now.
Oh, now he's throwing bows.
Oh, he's been listening to old school Ludacris music. Thinks he's a badass.
Oh, he's throwing them bows.
Oh, them bows. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. For real, dude. I'm telling you, you're going to fuck like just like Leitner did. You're going to fuck with the wrong one. You're going to fuck with somebody that's like, I'm not having this shit, and they're just going to strike you, dude. I mean, they're not going to give a damn.
Wasn't Christian Leitner, wasn't his the one with Michigan?
Yeah.
The Fab Five?
Yeah.
I can't remember which one of the
No,
Fab
it was
Five.
Kentucky.
Was it Kentucky? I thought it was one of the Fab Five.
Kentucky. It's Kentucky. No, he stomped on that Kentucky player.
Oh, that's right. Now I remember.
Because everybody on the other team was like, man, he chose the one dude on the team who wouldn't do shit. You try that shit with me, so I'll get up and punch you right in the motherfucking face. I was like, exactly. He chose the right ones. And heck, Grayson Allen, by the by, has been choosing the right one. But sooner or later,
if you're going to pick the wrong one,
it's going to be the wrong one. And he's going to get served. It's going to be bad.
In the words of Smokey from Friday, it's going to be, he got knocked the fuck out.
For real. So I'm like, you see what happens, Grayson?
See what happens, Grayson?
You see what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass? Exactly.
So you can use it for anything.
Exactly. Do you see what happens, Grayson?
See what happens, Grayson, when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
Do you see what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass? Exactly. It's going to be one of those moments.
So during the North Carolina Duke game on Saturday, Allen threw an elbow to the jaw of North Carolina's Brandon Robinson. The referee ruled the elbow was unintentional and only hit Allen with a dead ball technical foul, a.k.a. a slap on the wrist.
After they know that this sumbitch is dirty. I mean, for real, like, we've been through this.
You know, I watched the video. I actually, you know, when I was doing my research, I actually watched the video. And me personally, I think it looked intentional. And, you know, I'm not just saying that because I dislike him. Because I do dislike him. I think he's a little punk. And he keeps thinking that he can be Big Dick Daddy and throw these bows and stomp on people's feet and knock people over. And he can do it and be a bully. And I'm telling you, one of these days, like Badass said, you're going to pick the wrong big motherfucker.
And you're going to get this.
And you're going to get one of these.
Let's give this Nancy a fucking good kicking.
Exactly. You're going to get your ass kicked, dude. It's not going to be good.
And it's going to be all over SportsCenter, all over Fox News, all over the internet. Every place you can think of is going to be. And you're just going to be laughed at because you're going to be shown what a true big punk bitch you really are.
I'm telling you. It's coming. It's coming. You laugh now, bitch. Cry later. It's coming.
It's only a matter of time.
It's not if. It's when.
You know, it's funny because we keep doing these Grayson Allen stories, and it's like you almost hold your breath.
Building the pressure.
You know, it's like it was that big fight that you're waiting for, and you're just building the pressure up to the fight. You know, you keep having these little incidences, and you're like holding your breath, like, oh, is this the time? Is this it, the time he hits the wrong person and he gets knocked the fuck out? Or is this the time that somebody just says, all right, I'm going to take the technical foul, go shoot my ball. You know, I'll take the couple of points that I get. He gets a technical foul.
99% of the time, it's going to be, I'm calm, I'm reasonable, I'm level. Every once in a while, though.
I think when it gets like really like down to the nitty gritty and like the tournament, and you have one of the big high stake things, if he does something like in that situation, tempers could flare, and you could see something maybe in the tournament.
Sooner or later, everybody pisses in the wrong bowl of cornflakes. Every once in a while, and he's going to piss in the wrong bowl of cornflakes. It's coming. Mm-hmm.
It's only a matter of time. We're just, like I said, we're gonna keep doing stories, and one of these stories, I'm like, guess what, badass? It finally happened. And you're like, what? Like Grayson got knocked the fuck out. You're like, no way. Like, yeah, it finally happened.
I know. I'm looking forward to it.
So let's go ahead and move into the big games of the week, and I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about some of the big things. We didn't have many games this week. We had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday was the last game before tournament started. So there really wasn't a full week of basketball this week. But I did want to go over some of the big games that happened. Saturday, of course, was the big game. So, you know, there were a lot of big games on Saturday. And then Sunday, there was just a few games to round out this field.
That's true. I mean, hey, it's gotten down to where it's championship time, man. It's pretty cool.
So let's go ahead and talk about some of the big games. And on Thursday, we had number 14 SMU destroying Tulsa 93-70. I mean, not a real big surprise there.
No.
SMU is kind of, like I said, they're one of those teams that are gearing up for the tournament, and they're now just popping off wins and trying to build that resume.
Correct.
Now, you also, on the other side, you have unranked Iowa upsetting number 22 Wisconsin 59-57. And I mean, come on, how many times is Wisconsin going to blow it?
Yeah, apparently they're going to keep.
Is this number 3?
I think they're done, dude.
Is this number 3?
Yeah, it is. I think they're done.
Because I'm not mistaken, I think they lost to 2 unranked teams last week, and they lost another one this week.
And we said that they were going to bounce back, and they didn't. There was no bounce back.
There's no bounce back.
Yeah, there was no Big Sean song.
So, and then you also had number 18 Cincinnati handling Houston 65-47. So,
does this start what I think it does?
It does.
Uh-oh.
It's time.
Is it time?
It is almost that time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. So on Friday you had number 10 West Virginia blowing out number 24 Iowa State 87-76. You had number 21 Wichita State destroying Bradley 82-56 in the quarterfinal of the Missouri Valley Tournament. Now on Saturday you had number 1 Kansas squeaking out by Oklahoma State 90-85. You had number 2 Villanova crushing Georgetown 81-55. You had number 8 Louisville defeating number 19 Notre Dame 71-64. You had unranked Vanderbilt shocking number 12 Florida 73-71. You had unranked Seton Hall upsetting number 13 Butler 70-64.
God damn.
You had Florida State defeating number 25 Miami 66-57. And you had number 21 Wichita State beating Missouri State 78-63 to go on to the finals of the Missouri Valley Tournament.
That was fuck ugly.
I mean, you had some good, you had some bad,
And some
fugly looking, real fugly.
For real, dude. Like, damn. I mean, you were just sitting there rattling off, like, upset. I was like, God.
Upset, damn. Blowout. Upset, blowout.
It's just like, damn. Like, I don't know. I'm fearing our record this week.
You know what? I don't want to give it away, but just rest easy. Just put it that way.
Rest easy.
Rest easy. It wasn't as bad as you think it was.
Good deal.
So I want to go ahead and move into Sunday's matchups, and that was the last day. You had number 16 Purdue just getting by Northwestern 69-65. You had number 18 Cincinnati crushing UConn 67-47. And you had number 22 Wisconsin bouncing back and destroying Minnesota 66-49.
So they finally did bounce back.
I mean, they bounced back, but it was against Minnesota.
But they got to play their Big Sean song in the locker room, and they were happy. You know they did.
That's all good and fine and dandy, but you still losing to 3 unranked teams in the matter of a week and a half.
He's like, we can't forget that.
You can't forget that. If you're looking at that as a person that is trying to figure out where we're going to put Wisconsin, it's not.
That's not helping.
It's not in the 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 spot.
Fuck no, it's not helping.
You're looking more of like the 7, 8, 9, 10 spot.
Maybe deeper.
Maybe even deeper.
God, it's true. Hey, that's possible though.
I mean, you can't lose to 3 unranked teams like that in a matter of a week and a half. It just, and then you
start to play like Clemson,
and then you have an impressive win against Minnesota, which I mean, you can't even really call that an impressive win. It's fucking Minnesota. They're not good in basketball.
They're good in football.
They're good in football. Basketball, no.
No, not so much.
So, that kind of, Oh, you know what, badass? I forgot one more thing.
Uh-oh. What did you forget?
One more game.
What game is that?
Our boys at Wichita State, the Shockers, winning the Missouri Valley Tournament with a dominating 71-51 win over Illinois State on Sunday to win the Missouri Valley Tournament.
I'm telling you, they're going to beat some people's asses in the damn big dance, too.
They're going to shock the world. I'm telling you, I feel it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to shock the world and win it all. But
No. I'm not saying shock the world, like win it all, but I'm telling you, they're going to beat some really good teams that you're going to be like,
they went deep before.
Damn, I can't believe they just beat them.
They've went deep before.
I think depending on where they're picked out in the bracket, I might have to get them going a couple rounds.
I'm definitely going to have them win in 1 or 2 games for sure because they might win more. Dude, I'm telling you, they're one of those teams where you're like, they could go deep. They might go deep. So you always got to keep it in mind because it's like the program has a history of getting there because they're better than people think.
So, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how all these teams get seeded into this tournament. And, we're only, less than a week away.
That's true. We are only less than a week away.
We're less than a week away from the big selection Sunday. I mean, I can't believe it. It's here already.
Tell you what, though, it's about time because we need the madness. We need it to hold us over. Got to have the madness.
Then you have that 4 months of baseball and the end of hockey and the end of basketball seasons. And then you have just baseball for a couple months before football kicks in.
That's true. And then football's back. Oh, my God, I can't wait.
It'll be here before we know it.
Oh, I can't wait.
And then we go back to the second year of the Burger and Badass college football pick'em show.
I know. I mean, we're quickly approaching 26 shows.
2 away. We're getting very, very close.
I know. This is actually getting pretty cool.
So I want to go ahead and go over how we did last week and go over some of the games that we actually had. We actually finished the week 10-5.
Hold on. We did what now?
We finished the week at 10-5. I know, right? Not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. I have to say, I think we did pretty damn good.
And that now marks 2 weeks in a row that we picked at a 67% rate.
That's insane.
67%, almost a 70% rate picking 2 weeks in a row.
I'll tell you what, we're doing nasty. We're doing good.
So I want to go ahead and go over some of our picks for the week. Like I said, it was another shortened week, so we really didn't have we had a lot of big games, but it was just in a few days.
That's true, it was.
So looking at Thursday, we had Iowa at number 22, Wisconsin. We took number 22, Wisconsin, and of course, Iowa did win that game 59-57.
Yeah, we shit the bed on that.
But you know what? I remember us having this conversation, and I remember we said those 3 games right there, there was going to be an upset in there somewhere, and we didn't know where it was going to be. And if I'm not mistaken, I do remember you saying right near the end of it, it might even be the Wisconsin game.
Yeah, because Wisconsin has been doing so shitty. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we should have took Iowa, but I was also thinking that Wisconsin is actually the better team. But no, I don't know about all that now.
In our next game, we had Houston at number 18 Cincinnati. We took Cincinnati, and of course, Cincinnati did win that game 65-47.
Yeah,
So we did good on that one.
we called that one correctly.
And then we had the one where we thought the upset was going to be, and we took Tulsa over number 14 SMU, and SMU won that game 93-70.
Oh no! We suck again!
Yeah, that didn't work out either.
Nope. So we ended up finishing on Thursday 1-2, and I'm like, man, this is not a good way to start the week.
So really, we were starting out kind of like we were getting flushed.
Oh, we were definitely getting flushed.
It wasn't sounding good at all for the home team.
No, but my friend, where there's bad, there's good.
This is true. Where there is bad, there is good. This is true.
So we had our first Friday game, and we had number 24 Iowa State at number 10 West Virginia. We took West Virginia, and actually West Virginia won this game handily 87-76.
So that was a correct pick.
Yep. So we were 1-0 on Friday. Now we get into our big day, and that was Saturday. We had 8 games on Saturday. I mean, that's insane.
That was an insane, impressive mix of games.
So our first one was number 1 Kansas at Oklahoma State, and Kansas won that game 90-85. So we got that one right. We had number 17 Duke at number 5 North Carolina, and of course, we did talk about that earlier, and North Carolina did win that game 90-83. And then we had number 25 Miami at Florida State. We took Florida State, and of course, Florida State did win that game 66-57. So we started right off 3-0 right off the bat.
Just
Bam.
bop, bop, bop.
Bop, bop, bop. 3 right off the bat.
And then we got to the Notre Dame game.
Yeah, then we got to Notre Dame game. We had number 19 Notre Dame at number 8 Louisville, and Louisville won this game 71-64. And of course, we took Notre Dame, and we were wrong on that pick.
Yeah, we called an upset that never came.
Then you had Seton Hall at number 13 Butler. We took Butler, and Seton Hall won this game 70-64.
God, it was like every time we called an upset this week, it just did not really occur. And then the one that we were like, it's probably gonna happen, it did.
And then the one we actually said that it probably could happen actually happened. That was number 12 Florida at Vanderbilt. We took Florida thinking, okay, Florida will have no problem, trying to get ready for the tournament. And they go out and they blow the game. And they lose 73-71.
Oh no! We suck again!
Yeah, we do.
So right there, we went from being 3-0 and looking good to being 3-3 back at 500.
Just shit.
So then we got into the late games, and I remember we talked about this when we did the late games. We were like, man, I don't know, like, these are rival games, but I think these teams are strong enough that they want to be looking really good going into the Pac-12 tournament. The first game was number 7 Arizona playing at Arizona State. We took Arizona, and of course, Arizona won this game 73-60.
That's true.
And then we had number 6 Oregon playing at Oregon State. We took number 6 Oregon, and Oregon definitely won this game handily 80-59.
The straight dominated their rivals.
So we actually ended up picking at 5-3 on Saturday, which is not bad at all.
So other than those 3 games, other than that one bad stretch, we were doing pretty good.
We were doing really, really well. I mean, who would ever predicted Vanderbilt and Seton Hall upsetting Butler and Florida?
Not fucking me. I'm not going to lie. I thought this program's had 0 gas left in the tank.
I mean, yes, granted, we did say there was a possibility that Vanderbilt could upset Florida, but the odds of that happening were like slim to none.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was slim to none.
But it happened.
Yeah, it did happen. You're not shitting. It did happen. There's no denying it.
And then moving on into Sunday, our last day of college basketball, we had number 16 Purdue at Northwestern. We took number 16 Purdue, and Purdue won this game 69-65. We had Minnesota at number 22 Wisconsin. We were a little nervous about the game because we were afraid that, Wisconsin having that struggle, we didn't know they were going to get upset it on Thursday because that was after our show. But they got upset Thursday, and we're kind of iffy about this team. And but we said, you know what? We'll go ahead and take Wisconsin because they'll bounce back. Definitely against Minnesota, and they did. They bounced back and they won by 20 points. They won 67-47.
Oh, what did they do?
Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back.
Did you just say bounce back? Is that what he just did?
Yeah, they bounced back.
Hold on,
When about the night I count stacks.
what'd they do? Oh, I'm sorry. Was I interrupting?
They were bounced back.
Bounce back.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought they were doing. Yeah, they really did, didn't they?
Yep. So Wisconsin bounced back, and thank God we picked them to bounce back. And then our last game of all our picking, number 18 Cincinnati at UConn. We took Cincinnati because UConn sucks dick.
Dude, yeah, they do. Like, y'all wish Gino would coach your men's team. Shit. Maybe he ought to. Maybe the goddamn GOAT should just be the fucking coach of both your teams.
You know, the sad thing is, it'd take Gino a couple years to get that program back up where it's at.
Oh, you damn right it would. And
That
it's
program has dropped big time, and
shambles.
it's going to take a couple years of recruiting and getting some good guys in there to bring that program back up. And it's going to take him a couple years, but he's the man who could do it.
I agree. I can't argue with any of that.
So we actually finished 10-5 for the week, which is not bad. And actually, overall, we finished. You ready for this?
Let's hear it.
We finished 63-41, picking at a 61 winning percent. I mean, holy crap. I mean, that's just 50% in college football. We did so good in the bowl games. We picked, almost 60%.
And we were against the spread in that
Against the spread in that one. Then we decide, you know what? We'll try pick 'em for college basketball.
because spreads are impossible.
Because spreads are impossible, but it's still hard to pick because there's a lot of upsets. We proved that all year long during these games. I mean, look at Vanderbilt, Florida.
That's true.
Look at Seton Hall, Butler. I mean, like that stuff happened a lot this year. So it's hard. It's not easy to pick against just to pick them.
And I mean, we want to remind you guys that listening out there, we're not Vegas guys.
We're just two guys from South Carolina.
We just make picks.
Do what we love.
That's all we do, man. There's no bunk. There's no bullshit. There's nothing really to it. It just is what it is.
So you know me, badass. I'm a stats man. We talked about it before.
Yeah, you like your stats.
I like my stats. So I decided to kind of break down how we did throughout the year. And I wanted to kind of go over how we did each individual day when we were picking.
No, yeah, go ahead and let the people know.
So on Thursday, we picked 10-7 at a 59% rate.
That's not too bad.
No, 59% is not bad at all.
No.
Then on Friday, we only had one game on Friday, and that was this past week. We were 1-0, picking at 100%.
100% on Friday, boy.
100% on Friday.
Hey, you got to do it on Friday. You already know the deal.
Now, I got to say, I'm actually proud of this one because there were a lot of picks on this day, and we did fantastic because there's always a lot of upsets on Saturday. And Saturday,
That's true.
we picked through all the Saturdays a total of 33 games on Saturday.
That's a lot of games.
And we picked at a 21-12 at 64% winning percent.
So we were 2 out of 3 on every Saturday, like fucking cheddar.
Like clockwork.
Dude.
Like it was our job.
I'm sorry. Do we get paid for this?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think we did, but we're just letting you know, just in case any of you handicappers, you ain't the only ones that can do this.
And Sunday, we actually didn't do bad either. We had 11 games and we picked 7-4, which is again at another 64% rate.
Oh, god damn, that's telling you, man, we did pretty good. Like, it seems like the only true day we had an issue with was Monday, but I mean, fucking it's Monday.
Yeah, Monday we did not as good. We were 4-6 on Monday, picking at a 40% rate, which is still not bad.
No, it's the. I mean, it's not
it's
not the greatest.
It's like getting a C- on a test, and you say, "Hey, Mom, I got a C- on my test." She says,
What do you want, a fucking cookie?
"Well, that's great, son, but do you want a fucking cookie?"
Yeah, you're middle of the pack. You're average. What do you want, a cookie?
Yeah, you're just middle of the pack average. You're not like outstanding, like an A or A plus. You're not like a B plus. You're not even like mid card. at like a B minus or a B. You're at a C minus. Yeah, you're below the minimum.
Yeah, way below. Hold on, was that the Mendoza line? Yeah, he's batting below that motherfucker.
So then Tuesday we kind of bounced back a little bit. We were 7-7, picking at 50% rate.
Hell yeah.
Not bad. And then Wednesday, you would not believe this. Wednesday was like our day. And it was crazy because Wednesday's our show day. So a lot of times we were doing picks and the games were still being played while we were doing the show.
That's true. A lot of things we're be doing. Yeah, that's very true. I didn't really even think about that.
So we had 18 games on Wednesday, and we won 13 of the 18 games. We were 13-5, picking at a 72% rate.
Wow.
That's amazing, isn't it?
No, that is amazing. That's like stupid good.
Like, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, I said, I would be happy if we, remember when we started this thing, and I said, you know what? I'll be happy we picked like a 52% rate.
No, we were shooting for 50% because we thought that we could do that, and we blew that shit way out of the water.
I mean, I never expected to be picking at a 61% rate.
Hell no.
Not only that, but then the last 2 weeks we were picking at a 67% rate.
That's that what that tells me is that we actually got stronger as the picks progressed.
Yes. So that's how we did overall for the year. We're now actually not going to be doing any more picks now until our tournament special, and we're actually going to do a Burger versus Badass tournament pick'em style thing, and we're going to run through all the brackets on Monday, like I said, on our special show. So, I'm happy. Like I said, at the end of it, it was something we tried, we never done before. We're like, hell, we'll try it, see how it works. And you know what? For the first time of trying it, I'm happy with how we did this year.
I think we did really damn good, to be quite honest with you. I think we did great.
So I'm kind of excited to see how we do. We kind of set the bar high for the first year. And now this time next year, when we're getting to our 100th show or something like that, we can say, you know what? Let's set the bar even higher. This year we want to do between 65 and 70%.
I think we can do that.
I think we can. I mean, we were picking at 61 this year, and we were just, at the end of the year, we were gaining momentum.
I think we can do that. I don't see why not.
So, yeah. So, overall, I thought we did really well for ourselves. And, again, guys, we're not Vegas.
We're not. I want y'all to understand this. We are not Vegas guys. We don't do gambling in Vegas. We're not in a casino. We don't know bookmakers out there. We're not connected with fucking mobsters. And we don't have bookies.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're just two guys from South Carolina having fun and making our picks and doing what we love. Talking to you guys. Talking about what's happening in sports. Letting you know what our opinion was on that stuff. And, we're not like these other guys that are going to sugarcoat it for you and make it all nice and nice. We're going to tell you exactly how we feel and what we think about it. And, sometimes we're brash, sometimes we're bold, but you know what? In the end, that's our opinion. And you know what? We're allowed to have our opinion.
Right. And either you can like it, you don't have to like it. You can deal with it, you don't have to deal with it. But what you're not going to do is get us to shut the fuck up. I mean, you can definitely kiss that motherfucking shit goodbye.
I mean, we're going to keep doing what we're doing every week. And, like Howard Stern said, we were talking about this earlier in the week. Like Howard Stern says, you got to have them hate you before they love you.
Absolutely. And not only that, if they hate you, they're going to listen more.
Exactly.
So fucking start hating us, you dicks.
You hear that? There you go. There it is. That right there, that was a decibel 10 right there.
I'm subduing it.
You were very subdued tonight.
Yeah, maybe people are tired of hearing my angry shit. You never know.
I like you're angry.
I'm kidding. Fuck everybody that don't like my angry shit.
You're angry is cheeky and fun.
No, I know. It's because I'm tired. That's all it really is.
Yeah, I know.
Believe me, it's not because I actually give a shit if people think that I'm an asshole. I think that went out the door a long time ago.
But, like I said, that's how we did for the year. And, like I said, we'll do it again next year. Maybe we'll get into doing some college baseball pick'ems over the next couple weeks. Then maybe even do some MLB pick'ems. And then before we know it, we'll be back in the football again for our second year of doing football. And then before you know that, we'll be into college basketball again. So,
Do you actually think we could do good in branching out to the other sports? I mean, we did good in this one. We didn't think we would.
I mean, we started with football. We said, all right, we'll try this out, see how it works. Worked out really well. Did basketball, said, you know what, we're going to try it, see how it works. It worked out well. So guess what? Right now, we're 2 for 2. We'll try college baseball for a little while. Once, that wraps up, then we'll maybe move to a little bit of Major League Baseball, or even maybe do something with the NBA or NHL playoffs. Do some picks on who we think is going to win the division and talk about that a little bit. So, we have a lot of options out there. We can try them out. And, they're not going to all stick to the wall. Some ideas are going to be great and they're going to stick to the wall and we're going to like, damn, we got to keep doing that. And there's going to be ideas that you're going to throw against the wall and they're going to slide down, hit the floor, and go into the trash can. And you say, okay, well, that idea didn't work. Move on to the next one.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I actually liked your synopsis of the entire thing because you're right. We go into it blind and we actually just learn by fire. We trial by fire. We're pretty good at it.
Yeah, not bad. So
that's how the show started.
Exactly. Just sat with me and you sitting around a table, joking around, discussing about doing some kind of radio podcast show.
Thinking it was all just a joke.
Just a joke, and we're like, oh man. We came up with this whole folder that said Burger and Badass Show, and we came up with all these crazy ideas about different events, things that we were going to try out, and different days where I think we had one of them was, if I'm not mistaken, it was fucking Fridays.
Get fucked Fridays.
Oh yeah, Get Fucked Friday. That's what it was. Get Fucked Fridays. I forgot about that.
Get Fucked Fridays.
Good old Get Fucked Fridays. We had that one, and what was the other one? Smoked Out Wednesdays or something.
Yeah, we had this idea that we were going to have shag carpet in the studio with lava lamps and tapestries and hookahs and incense and nefarious pole dancers and belly dancers. And, we had big dreams.
But like I said, again, some ideas throw against the wall and they stick and some don't.
Right.
That one didn't stick.
No, that one really didn't stick, did it?
No, but you know what? You have to have the ideas and throw them out there, because eventually you're going to come up with one that's brilliant.
You can't argue.
So I'm going to go ahead and move on in our show. And we have our final ranking of the year. And it came out Tuesday for college basketball.
All right, how did it go?
Really, there really wasn't too much of a change. I mean, you have Kansas staying at number 1, while Villanova, UCLA, Gonzaga, and Oregon round out the top 5.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So, I mean, look at that. That's not a bad top 5.
No.
All those teams are going to be in there in the tournament, probably going 2, 3, 4 games deep.
Now, of all those teams right there that you just named, which one of those do you have the best feeling about? Which one is strongest, you think?
I'm liking the defending champs of Villanova, and I'm also liking UCLA. Gonzaga has struggled a little bit down, a little bit down the road a little bit. But, again, they've only lost 1 game this year. That's it. They lost that 1 game a few weeks back. But some of the games have been a lot closer than they really needed to be.
Fair enough.
But, those 2 teams probably out of the top 5, I'd say are probably one teams that I'd watch out for. Oregon at number 5, I'd say is that team that is in the weeds.
Are they dangerous?
They're Purdue that you have to watch out for because they can all of a sudden shock you and make a run and go 5 or 6 games deep and be in the Elite 8 before you know it.
I actually like that because, I agree with that. I do.
Oregon has played really good ball this year, and, only losing 4 games is really impressive, especially in the Pac-12. I'm kind of interested to see how they do in the Pac-12 tournament because you have UCLA out there, you have Gonzaga, you have Oregon, you have Arizona. You have all these teams out there that are top 10 squads that are going to be playing in this tournament. So, I have to honestly say it's probably, right now as far as the tournament-wise, for the conference tournament, Pac-12 is probably the second best, the one I want to watch in tournaments as far as conference tournaments. Because
right behind the ACC.
There's just so many good teams in that tournament that you're kind of interested. You know the games are going to be excellent and they're going to be really good. You're kind of interested to see what's going to happen. Of course, you know ACC is number one.
But the Pac's right behind them.
Pac-12 right behind them, even over the Big East, big over the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, definitely over all those guys. Because, I mean, like I said, you have 4 or 5 of those teams that are in the top 10.
And they are very, very capable of winning the big dance.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I said, any of those teams right there can make a run.
All right, how about the next guys?
All right, so 6 through 10, we have North Carolina at number 6, Arizona at number 7, Kentucky at number 8, Baylor at number 9, and Louisville at number 10.
That's a solid top 10.
That's a solid top 10 except for Baylor. You know me. I'm a Baylor hater.
You are a Baylor hater.
We said it last week, the week before that. I'm a Baylor hater. I think they're overrated. I mean, they lost 6 games this year, and I can see them as being one of those teams that get knocked out by like Wichita State.
Fair enough.
But as far as the rest of the top 10, North Carolina, they're another team that can make a deep run in the championship, in the NCAA March Madness. Arizona's another team that can make a deep run. Kentucky, I'm not impressed with as much. I think they're another team that they could struggle, and they could end up having to play like a good, solid, like a 7 or 8 squad, and maybe get upset by them.
A lot of people are saying they don't believe Kentucky's going to get to the 4 this year.
I'm just not. I mean, unless they go on some like crazy miraculous run,
You just don't see it.
I just don't see it happening.
Fair enough.
So let's go ahead and then of course Louisville at 10. I don't want to forget about them. They're doing really good this year too. So I mean they're 24-7. Not too bad considering they're in the ACC. You know, of course, like I said, when you're in the ACC, you're gonna have 7 or 8 losses a year, unless you happen to have a really, really good team that runs the table.
Fair enough. Again, no arguments with that. That's solid.
So moving through 11 through 15, we have West Virginia at number 11, SMU at 12. That team I keep talking about at 13, Purdue. Number 14, Duke, which
Only fucking Duke
hold
can
on,
lose
hold on.
8 goddamn games and still be ranked that high.
Hold on, badass. Let me put the last one up there real quick, and then we will talk about this because I'm a little pissed off. I don't understand how the fuck this has happened, but
Oh, I do.
hold on a minute. And then we have Cincinnati at number 15, which, again, we talked about them last week. They're kind of iffy. They have their good games, and they have the games where they get blown out by unranked teams. But looking through that 11 through 15, you have West Virginia, who, you know, they've had their struggles this year. SMU has looked really good, but I think when they get into like the big meat of the powerhouses where they play like a Kansas, Villanova, UCLA, Gonzaga, Oregon, they could struggle.
Only fucking Duke can lose 8 games.
Hold on, we're gonna get there. Hold on. Have
know.
patience.
I'm trying.
I'm trying to build you up there.
I'm trying.
So then after that, we have the Purdue, the team I've been talking about for the last couple weeks. They're that team that hangs in there. And then we have Duke at 14. How the fuck is Duke, who's had 8 losses this year, 8 fucking losses, you're being put in front of teams that have 4 losses, 3 losses, 6 losses, 7 losses, 7 losses. Yet somehow you're 23-8 and you're still hanging up there at number 14.
Because they love gobbling that Duke dick.
I mean, there's no way that Duke's going to be a team that ends up going anywhere far in the tournament. Like, I'm thinking like 1 or 2 and done.
Likely.
And if they happen to get through 1 and 2, they're definitely not making it past 3.
No. I don't honestly, dude. Call me crazy. I think they're getting bounced in the first or second round.
I mean, I totally agree with you. They're another one of the Kentucky teams that, you know, they just haven't really impressed me this year. Baylor, again, another team that's really done impress me. There could be 1 or 2 and done.
Fair enough. I can't argue that logic. I can't.
So we have 16 through 20. We have Florida State at number 16. Florida at 17. Butler at 18. St. Mary's at 19. our boys at Wichita State at number 20. So I mean, another bunch of teams that Florida State and Florida they've been pretty strong this year. They've had a few games that they have struggled in, but you gotta look at the division they're in. They're playing in tough divisions.
Very tough divisions.
Butler, who just had that upset loss, they've kind of struggled, but they've been the best of the worst of the Big East this year. And then we have our boy from Wichita State hanging around there. I mean, they're hanging around there and quietly just sneaking in there.
Just quietly hanging about.
So then 21 through 25, we have Virginia at 21, Notre Dame at 22, Iowa State at 23. How the fuck they're still in the top 25? Number 24, Wisconsin.
Hold on, wait a minute. Before you even end, go ahead and end the list. Go ahead. I'll be decent. Go ahead.
Hey, I can already tell where this is going.
Oh, yes, you do.
I already know where this is going.
Yes, you
It's
do.
not going to end
Go ahead
well.
and finish the list.
This is going to get interesting, guys. Number 24, Wisconsin, and number 25, Maryland. Go ahead, badass.
Fuck. All right, you know what? I'm tired. I'm pissed off. I've been shucking packages and I've been slinging wiener. For all y'all that don't get that reference, Burger does. Motherfucker. How in the fuck can Duke have the same goddamn record as Wisconsin at 23-8, and they be ranked so high? I'm sick and tired. Yes, I know they play in the ACC. I hear you out there. I do. But what the fuck? They've lost all those games too. And it pisses me off to know that no matter how shitty Duke does, they could be 8-23. They'd still be in the top 25 somehow. Their schedule was the hardest. Oh yeah, sure. Man, fuck that shit. This is why people hate Duke. Right here. They put it on display every fucking chance they get by doing shit like letting Grayson Allen pay. I'm sick of it. I can't even. My fucking head's spinning. I can't think straight. I'm just tired. I'm tired of goddamn Duke and Grayson Allen. I just don't know how many times I have to say it. Just nothing fucking nice could happen to that team, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Well, the good news is that once the tournament's over, then we have to wait a whole year before we have to deal with it again.
Thank God.
So, it's kind of interesting, like I said, with all these rankings, where everybody's going to fall in this tournament. I'm interested to see Selection Sunday and, what it brings. I mean, it always brings excitement because you don't know where they're going to place some of these teams.
That's true. Very true.
So, badass, we're at that point of the show.
And what's that, my friend?
We're at our last topic of the evening.
It's the last topic, is it?
Now, I know usually we do picks at this point of the show, but we do not have picks. So what we decided to do is we wanted to put a little bit of meat at the end of the show to kind of, not kind of have something in there that is going to excite you guys. And there's nothing more exciting than championship week.
That's right.
So championship started this week, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to go over the 6 top conferences and go over their tournament and the seedings. And some of these games I've actually started already, so I've actually filled out some of the bracket. Like I said, we were talking about earlier in the North Carolina Duke game. That was a second round ACC tournament game.
Correct.
So I've updated the bracket to the point of when we started the show. There were some games that were just finishing up, and there were also some games that were just getting started at 7 o'clock. I'm thinking we're probably closer to 8 o'clock now, so I know at some point, we're going to have a lot of stuff coming in later on. We will discuss it next week when we do the wrap-up of the tournament, conference tournament.
All right. So if it's championship week, what does that mean, Burger?
What does it mean, badass?
I guess it means that these guys are stressed out. I'm guessing that it means they're probably smoking cigarettes when Coach ain't looking.
They're probably trying to find a whore to release some pressure.
Are they under pressure, my friend?
They are under pressure, my friend.
Are they? Are you sure?
Not really, because some of them top teams, they know they're going to make the tournament. You know, this is kind of just like the icing on the cake.
So this is kind of like a consolation prize. It's like, I know I'm going to the big...
I wouldn't say a consolation prize. It's just something that, you know, is...
I'm better than all y'all.
That's an extra thing to show on your resume is not only did we win the ACC tournament or the Big 12 tournament or the Pac-12 tournament, but we won a national championship.
On the way to doing so.
On the way to doing it.
All right, fair enough. It's pretty much one of those, we are better than all y'all.
So what we want to do is we want to go over the top 6 conferences: ACC, Big East, SEC, Pac-12, Big 10, and Big 12. You know, I didn't want to go into all of them because we'd be here all night doing that.
That's true.
I mean, there's a lot of, like, just non-conference, like the MEAC with Delaware State.
Dude, who gives a fuck about Delaware State and the MEAC? No.
The Colonial Division with Delaware.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
I mean, Delaware makes it maybe once every, 5 years.
And it gets bounced.
And it gets waxed by Duke by, 60 points in the first round.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You got to play
Have a nice
Duke.
day.
Go back to Delaware, you fucking idiots.
Bye. Have a nice day. Thanks for coming. Thanks for letting us whoop your ass real quick. Have a nice flight back to Delaware.
While they're wiping off the Johnson.
So let's go ahead and start with the ACC. And the ACC tournament actually started yesterday. And in the first round, we had number 12 Clemson playing versus number 13 NC State. And Clemson actually won this game 75-61 pretty handily.
Ooh, whoop-de-doo. They won a fucking game.
What's that? Whoop-de-fucking-doo.
Whoop-de-fucking-doo. Exactly,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, too little, too late. I mean, this point in the season.
Right. It's already done. You suck.
So we also had number 10 Wake Forest beating number 15 Boston College 92-78. And then we had, in the other first round, we had number 11 Georgia Tech losing to number 14 Pittsburgh 61-59.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see Pittsburgh win because, you know, they're that former Big East team. So I'm glad to see them win.
It makes you happy to see that, I know.
You know, when I see a Pitt or a Syracuse, you know, come out and upset them, I like to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah? No, I really can't argue with that.
So then we got into the second round, and we had 2 games that have been played and the 2 games that are going to be later on tonight. In the first one, we had number 8 Syracuse losing to number 9 Miami 62-57 to move on to play number 1 North Carolina tomorrow afternoon.
North Carolina's probably going to wax that ass.
Yeah, this is where the fun stopped for Miami. Thanks for coming.
Go home.
Go home. Get ready for the tournament, because they are going to make the tournament.
But get ready for that, because you're probably going to get waxed again.
And then in our second game, we had number 5 Duke edging out number 12 Clemson 79-72. And they are moving on now to face number 4 Louisville, which is probably going to be a pretty good game.
I think Louisville's going to beat Duke. I think you're going to see North Carolina, Louisville.
I definitely agree with you. I think I'm seeing North Carolina, Louisville. I'm not impressed with Duke again. You either. You're not impressed with Duke.
I just like the favorites in this game. I think they're better teams. I do.
And I definitely would love to see a North Carolina-Louisville matchup.
Absolutely.
And then in the bottom bar of the bracket, we have number 7 Virginia Tech playing versus number 10 Wake Forest. Virginia Tech should win this game.
Yeah, should
win this game.
That comes with a caveat.
But whoever wins that game will end up playing number 2 Florida State.
Yeah, and I think that's where that's going to end right there, because Florida State's better than both those teams, without any doubt.
And then in the last second round game, we have number 6 Virginia playing versus number 14 Pittsburgh, and I think this is where Pittsburgh ends their run, and I think Virginia's going to win this game.
See, that's where I don't think so. I think Pittsburgh is going to win. I think they're going to upset. They're going to do it.
But whoever wins that game goes on and plays number 3 Notre Dame, which, I mean, if you're one of those teams, like, you know, you're Miami, your Duke, your Wake Forest or Virginia Tech, or your Pittsburgh or Virginia, out of all the teams that are sitting out there, North Carolina at 1, Louisville at 4, Florida State at 2, and Notre Dame at 3, out of all those teams, you know who I want to play? I want to play Notre Dame.
No, absolutely, because they're in the toilet right now.
They're the team that I'd like to see, I like to play because, there's a chance of us beating you.
No, very good, actually.
Where if you play like a North Carolina or Louisville or Florida State,
You already know what's going to happen.
the odds are a little bit smaller.
Yeah, no, because not only that, all three of those teams got good players, and all three of them have good coaches. It's hard to beat a team when they're in sync, dude, and they got a good coach. It's hard.
So what are you thinking for a ACC tournament final? I'm thinking like North Carolina, Florida State in the final.
I'm liking either North Carolina or Louisville to meet Florida State. I think that's who you got, because I know that Louisville is a good team. North Carolina is good. And I know Florida State's really good. Everybody else, they're kind of okay.
Could you see Pittsburgh making a run?
I'd like to, just for the sake of an underdog making a run.
I mean, they're number 14. I mean, you love seeing number 14 make it.
I do.
So let's go ahead and move on to the Big East. In the first round, you have number 8 St. John versus number 9 Georgetown. How in the fuck Georgetown got a number 9 seed after the way they played this year? I don't know. I really don't know. But that game started at 7 o'clock tonight. And then later on tonight, you have number 7 Xavier playing versus number 10 DePaul. Just some notes in this. Villanova got a 1 seed. Marquette got a 4 seed. Seton Hall got a 5 seed after they got that upset win. Butler got a 2 seed. Providence a 3 seed. And Creighton a 6 seed.
I'm liking either Butler or Nova for this one, absolutely.
I'm liking
the whole thing. Like, it doesn't matter who's in there. I think it's Butler or Nova.
the whole thing.
For the whole thing. I don't think either one of those two teams is going to do it. They are. Because those are the two strongest teams. And Villanova don't want no parts of fucking Butler again. They done got them their asses twice this year.
Yeah, they got them twice.
Right, they don't want a third run at it because this is going to be in the same damn way.
And then again, third time's a charm, right?
I don't know about that.
So, go ahead and moving into the next set of tournaments is the SEC tournament. In the first round, tonight we have number 12 Mississippi State playing number 13 LSU. That game started at 7 o'clock. We have number 11 Auburn playing against number 14 Missouri. That starts at 9:30 tonight. Some notes, Kentucky got a 1 seed. South Carolina, even though we played horrible this year, got a 4 seed. Florida 2 seed. Arkansas somehow got a 3 seed. I don't know how. I guess the SEC is not as good as what they used to be. Somehow Alabama got a 5 seed. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened. And Tennessee fell all the way back to a 9 seed. They struggled this year.
I'm liking Florida or South Carolina for this. I'm not, it's just, I look at like teams that were strong throughout the year. I'm liking them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kentucky's going to struggle. But I don't think that's going to happen until the semifinals when they play South Carolina.
Agreed.
I mean, I think they're going to have no issues playing against Georgia or Tennessee. I think they should have no issue playing against either one of those teams.
Watch them get beat.
I mean, it could happen, but I see that if South Carolina ends up playing Kentucky in the semifinals of the SEC tournament, I definitely could see South Carolina, even though they played kind of shitty at the end of the year, I could definitely see them pulling the upset. And then the bottom half of the bracket, I mean, you have Vanderbilt sitting there that just upset Florida, sitting at a 7 seed. If they win against Texas A&M, they play Florida again.
Yeah, they do.
And that could be interesting.
It could be.
That could be very interesting. And then you have, at the lower part of the bracket, you have Auburn, Missouri, Ole Miss, and Arkansas down there. I mean, Florida, if they can just maintain what they've been doing, they really should have no issues getting to the finals.
I think they win. It's either going to be them or South Carolina, I do.
I really think Florida and South Carolina will definitely be the last two. So, that's the SEC tournament. Now, one of the tournaments that I think was probably one of the biggest tournaments, besides, of course, the ACC, because, ACC is pretty dominant. The Pac-12 tournament And the Pac-12 tournament started tonight, actually this afternoon, and we had one game that already had a final, and that was number 8 Arizona State playing against number 9 Stanford, and number 8 Arizona State beat number 9 Stanford 98-88. So you have that game, you have the other game, the second round game, you have number 5 California playing against number 12 Oregon State, number 7 Colorado playing versus number 10 Washington State, and you have number 6 USC playing at Washington, all in the first round games being played tonight. And then tomorrow you have, like I said, that first game that Arizona State won. So you have number 1 Oregon versus number 8 Arizona State, which could be an interesting matchup. The winner of the California-Oregon State game will play Utah. The winner of the Colorado-Washington State will play Arizona, which I don't think it's going to matter. And then USC, the winner of USC and Washington, play UCLA. Looking through all that, it looks like we're going to probably in the bottom half of the bracket end up with a rematch of the Arizona-UCLA game. In the top part of the bracket, it could be anybody's game, honestly. I could see California somehow stringing some wins along and winning the top part of the bracket. I think Oregon might struggle a little bit against Arizona State, but I think Oregon, in the end, will beat Arizona State, but then might struggle against either like a Utah or a California.
It seems like the Pac might even be just as much as a grinder as the ACC is.
I mean, it really is.
Might be more so. Maybe even more so. You never can tell.
I mean, look at the top 4. You have Oregon at 1, Arizona at 2, UCLA at 3, and Utah at 4. I mean, that's a pretty packed top 4 right there.
Yeah, it is.
So that's the Pac-12, and that'll be going on the next couple of days. Next one, we have the Big Ten tournament. And
snooze fest.
It is a snooze fest. There are some kind of big surprises that I'm looking at this. The first round, we have Nebraska versus Penn State. That game started this afternoon. But I wasn't able. I know there was about 10 minutes ago in the game, and Penn State was up by 3 points last time I checked. And then we had Ohio State playing Rutgers tonight at 7 o'clock. In the second round, you have number 8 Michigan against number 9 Illinois. Number 5 Michigan State playing the winner of the Nebraska-Penn State game.
How did Wisconsin get a 2?
I don't know. We have number 7 Iowa playing number 10 Indiana. And then we have number 6 Northwestern playing against either Ohio State or Rutgers. I mean, how the hell did Northwestern get a 6th seed? I mean, that division must really suck.
Dude, you're not, because my head's blinded by looking at this. Purdue seems to be the strongest team out of the whole bunch, and they're likely going to be your winner.
Oh, wait till you hear about who had the first round buys.
Oh God,
the first and second round buys. The top 4 teams. 1 Purdue, which no surprise. I mean, Purdue is Purdue.
Right.
Number 2, you have Wisconsin.
I don't know how that's possible.
I don't know either. Number 3, you have Maryland.
I don't know how that's possible either.
Oh, wait, it gets better. Guess who number 4 is?
No.
It really is.
My Golden Ghosts.
The Golden Ghosts of Minnesota.
I'm pulling for the Ghosts.
You're pulling for the Ghosts?
I am.
I mean, I definitely could see them making it to the semifinals, but I could see them losing to Purdue. The bottom half of the bracket, the team I'd really watch, Maryland.
Yeah.
Maryland, I think it's going to end up being Maryland-Purdue in the finals of the Big Ten. So, that's a real quick look at the Big Ten. And the last one we have is the Big 12, which has some pretty good teams in it.
That will be more interesting than the Big Ten.
Yes.
Bet on it.
That's probably like in the middle of the pack, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So, in the first round, you have number 8 TCU playing against number 9 Oklahoma. You have number 7 Texas Tech playing number 10 Texas in their big rival game. In the quarterfinals tomorrow, you have number 4 Iowa State going against number 5 Oklahoma State. Number 1 Kansas playing against the winner of the TCU Oklahoma game. You have number 2 West Virginia playing against the winner of the number 7 Texas Tech Texas game, and then the bottom of the bracket you have number 3 Baylor playing versus number 6 Kansas State. And you know, out of those games, I'm looking at the top half of the bracket. Kansas should have no real big issues with anybody in the top part of that bracket. They should pretty much run it right to the finals. Now, the bottom half of the bracket is very interesting. You have teams like Texas and Texas Tech that, even though they really haven't had a great year, they're one of those very sneaky teams that can sneak up and beat you at any point. You have West Virginia, who's had a up and down year this year.
That's who I'm pulling for this whole thing, though. That's who I got.
And you also have, of course, who I've talked about a lot. You have Baylor at number 3 playing against Kansas State. And you know what? I could see Kansas State upsetting Baylor in that second round matchup.
I do too. And it's all roads lead to Kansas. They're likely going to be your winner. But I'm pulling for West Virginia, man. I have to. Gotta pull for Country Roads.
Country Roads, take me home.
Gotta pull for Country Roads, man. You can't not pull for them. I mean, Kansas is cool. I mean, if I wasn't gonna pull for West Virginia, I'd pull for Kansas. I'm pulling for West Virginia, so I can't do that. It's like that computer. I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave. It's like, I'm afraid I can't do that, bro. Like, that's just, I can't do it.
So that's a look at the top 6 conferences and all their tournaments this week. Like I said, before we get into the big pick'em show next week, we'll kind of review on the tournament. That's going to be the only thing we actually do besides the pick'em, is we'll go over the conference championships and how everybody did.
Correct. So that everybody knows.
So everybody
exactly
knows how we got there from where we were at.
Correct.
So that is going to be it for our show this week. Like I said, remember guys, Monday's going to be our special show. We're doing it at 6 o'clock probably on Wednesday. We'll definitely let you guys know through Facebook a definite time later on in the week. But more than likely, it'll probably be 6 o'clock. Remember to go to our Facebook page, www.theburgerandbadass.show at facebook.com. We'll have a live link there that you can click on. You guys can comment, like, tell us what you think. Enjoy the show. You know, hate on us, love us, do whatever you want. And then also you guys can watch our shows on our YouTube page at www.theburgerandbadass.show at youtube.com. I can tell we've done this way too long tonight.
Yeah.
I'm already getting tired. We're over the 2-hour mark. I'm starting to wind down.
Somebody call 911.
I just keep thinking about that pizza you just ordered.
I know. It's happening.
I know. I just keep thinking about it. I'm like, man, I have pizza in my mind now. I'm not even thinking about the show.
I know. Trust me. I haven't eaten in hardly 2 days, man. I gotta eat. Everyone's like, damn you, fat ass. You're no longer badass. You're fat ass. It's like, you know what? Fine. I'll be that.
So that is going to do it for our show this week. Guys, thank you again. Remember, there's 2 places, Facebook and YouTube. The Burger and Badass Show at either facebook.com or youtube.com. Go check us out. Subscribe to our page. Like us, comment, let us know what you think. And we will be back again, like I said, on Monday to do our special show. Remember to get on live. You know, that's going to let us know that you guys are listening by you guys getting on there and commenting during our show and letting us know what you think. So we have that coming up Monday, and then we'll take a long week off, and then we'll come back the following Wednesday and do it all over again. So for Burger and Badass, we'll see you later. Badass, you have anything to finish up the show with?
Sayonara, motherfuckers.
And play the music, right?
Cue the music.
Cue the music.
Use my body to